you are safe and healthy. Recently, I was talking to Rotak Shruti Sharma about how do we spend our quarantine days, and she suggested me to come up with a tutorial for an art design. So I thought of introducing you guys to mandala. Mandala is a spiritual symbol. People used to practice mandala for meditation. I started practicing mandala as to take a break from my architecture studies. I hope it is a tool for relaxation for you guys as well. So I'm going to divide this video into 3 parts. In the first part, I'm going to talk about different forms and patterns in mandala. In the second form, I'm going to talk about the combinations made using these patterns. And in the third part, I'm going to talk about how do you incorporate these combinations into one single circle. Circle because mandala itself means circle. I hope you guys like the video and it benefits you. If you have any suggestions about the video, you can drop a comment. If you have any queries, then you can just DM me.
In this whole tutorial, I am using micron pen. You can use any fine tip pen. Basic forms used in mandala are circle, triangle, and semicircle. If you use smaller semicircles, then they are called as petals. If you increase its size, then they are called as long petals. Drop petal is another variation in it. Next, I'm going to show the variations in fill patterns. So I'm using a 10 by 10 square. So this is the solid fill that we can do. Or you can use patterns like vertical line, horizontal line, and diagonal lines. You can also do combination of 2 lines. Or you can just divide the form into 2 halves and fill one pattern with a solid fill and the another one with a line work. Now I'm going to take a triangle . So for that, in this grid, I'm going to take 2 points opposite to each other and join them diagonally. Here I'm using just 4 triangles. You can keep continuing the pattern for practice. Now the second step is to draw the same triangle, which is a little larger or smaller in size. And in step 3, you just have to fill by the pattern of your choice. The first variation, I'm going to do a solid fill. When you redraw the same shape, you find that the shape or the form that you have used is defined. I've already kept the triangles in step 2 and step 3 format ready. And now I'm just going to add different patterns to it. So in the second variation, I'm trying the combination of horizontal and vertical lines. In the third pattern, I'm using two diagonal lines. In the fourth variation, I'm not going to completely fill the triangle, but I'm just going to use half of the triangle. In the fifth variation, I'm just going to fill a little bit and in the sixth pattern, I'm going to add petals to it. These patterns are useful when you start your mandala, because you start your mandala with smaller forms and then gradually increase the forms. Next, I'm going to show you variation in petals. So in one 5 cm by 5 cm grid, I'm going to draw a petal. And then I'm going to repeat step 2 just as the triangle. Here I'm doing a combination of two diagonal lines. I'm using a 5 by 5 grid, 5 cm by 5 cm grid for this. Now in variation 2, I'm going to fill half of the pattern with horizontal lines. And in variation 3, I'm going to fill a solid fill. Next, I'm going to use a round petal, and I'm going to repeat step 1 and step 2 just as we did for the triangle and petals. Here I'm not going to add any hatch or pattern to it, keeping it simple. This is for the first 2 layers of your mandala. Here I'm adding a line to it. Now I'm going to add a solid fill to it. These patterns are kept simple because they are going to be added in layer 1 and 2. Or you can even use them for borders. The next form is circle. In this, I'm going to make a circle which fits into the 5 cm by 5 cm grid, and then I'll add a solid fill to the negative spaces left in between two circles, keeping the circle plain. Now I'm just going to draw circles and add points at the center. The third variation in circle is using an elongated circle. Next is the strips. You can use this for borders. First form that I'm going to take is the spirals. And later on I'm going to fill the negative spaces just as we did for the circles. I am just making different patterns using the grids that we have drawn. You can create different variations with the reference of the grids that we have drawn. To talk about the different combinations that we can make using the patterns and forms that we have learned in section 1. So first I'm going to take a grid of 10 cm by 10 cm and enlarge the forms. So I'm going to take 3 points and make a pointed petal. Now I'm going to repeat the shape with a little less size. Now I'll add a smaller petals in it, and the negative spaces will be filled by a solid fill. Other variation for the same combination as one can be filling it with a vertical, horizontal or diagonal lines. I'm going to add vertical lines to it. Now for pattern 3, I'm slightly going to change the petal shape. So I've added the design at the below. You can also use spirals. And fill the negative spaces with horizontal line or vertical lines. In variation 4, I'm filling it with a solid hatch. In this section, I'm going to use combination of petals, designs, circles and solid hatch. The next combination that I'm going to try is using circles and petals and some horizontal lines and solid fill. Now I'm slightly going to go off center and use the same patterns. I'm repeating the pattern as pattern 7, just inverting the flowers. So we can see a little change can make different combinations. Now I'm going to use curved petal instead of pointed petal. I'm repeating the pattern as we did for pattern 2 in pointed petal. Now I'm going to do a combination of spirals, petals, and flowers. Here I'm using a solid fill for the negative spaces. You can even use patterns like vertical line, horizontal line, or diagonal lines.
In this section, I'm going to show you how to use your combinations in mandala. I'm going to use a semicircle. You can repeat the other part for completing the circle. So our first step is to mark the center of the page. Next step is to decide the radius of the mandala that we are going to make. Now using a protractor, we are going to mark 10-degree distance. You can even mark 5 degree for more precision. Now with the help of ruler, you can connect the points. Make sure that you draw faint lines because this should be visible just by you. Now I'm going to mark 1 centimeter distance and draw concentric circles.